Well, the latest round of rumours about missing episodes have turned out to be bunk, but at least it means I can get to play this to start the show.
Edie, Edie, most amazing man there's ever been.
And just to link it back to Doctor Who, the lyrics to that were written by the father of the wife of someone whose voice was heard in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Now, from the title of this episode, you may well be thinking I'm going to talk about whether the Doctor should be able to change from being a man into a woman. I'm keeping well clear of that discussion. Now, what I want to talk about this episode are companions. The companion, or so we are told, is the identification figure, preferably human and contemporary. They ask the questions that we would ask and are the figure that we most latch onto in the show. For me, the gender of the companion is equally as important. In fact, sometimes more so. I would say that I related better to Adric than I did to Tegan, in spite of the fact that she was human and he wasn't. Let's look back at the history of Doctor Who to see how the different genders have been represented over the years.
Starting with the 60s, we have male and female companions in place throughout. There is the occasional transition story where the Doctor begins or ends without a companion of each gender, but this never happens at both ends of the same story. Into the 1970s, and we start to see that more traditional picture emerging, with only one story where the Doctor lacks a female companion. The Doctor only has two humanoid male travelling companions in Harry and Adric. However, the third Doctor's era has the regular presence of UNIT to bolster its figures. Similarly, the robotic K9 provides an extra masculine presence for the fourth. The 80s begin with echoes of the very beginning of the show, and in spite of killing the first male companion, his space is quickly filled by another, so that Davison's era is third overall when it comes to the presence of a male companion. But with the departure of Turlough, we won't see another male companion until the revival of the series in 2005. It's hard to judge the 90s on just the one story, but for that one story at least, the solo female companion model is repeated. Into the noughties, and the show returns with a completely new format. This time the companions have families who pop up from time to time. The main companion is again a woman, though in the first series we have a couple of male companions, and if you include Mickey, who won't properly become a companion until the next year, the figures look a lot healthier. However, Mickey's run is sadly cut short, and aside from his and Jack's brief appearances, that's pretty much it for the 10th Doctor's era. I'm not counting any of the one-off companions here. And so we move into the current decade, where once again we have a much more consistent male presence in the companion stakes, in the form of Rory Williams. Initially in the mould of Mickey, he eventually became full-time alongside his wife.
So I think it's fair to say that the periods when the Doctor travels with just the one female companion are the exception rather than the rule. What I'd really like to see in the future is a male travelling companion who is there in the TARDIS in his own right, not because his girlfriend or his wife are the Doctor's primary companion. Whether that will happen remains to be seen.